and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is Jordan-Paige. I'm the show creator and host, and I am so happy that you're here today. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see here today, please consider clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we post, and you can follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. Today we have someone who I actually met many years ago, so I'm so excited to have her on the show. Melanie Weeks is Afro-Latina and an aspiring actress best known for her role Amber in the feature film Young Agents, which won Best Musical Score in the Cyberspace Film Festival. She is a dedicated student and a passionate performer. When she's not acting, she spends her time reading, dancing, tumbling, and writing. Melanie loves storytelling in all forms and embraces it in her everyday life. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. All right, everyone, here we are with the extremely talented Melanie Weeks. How are you doing today, Melanie?
I'm good. It's really good day today.
That's good. I know there were some storms last night, so I'm glad that all of that turned out okay. So yes, I am so excited to have you on the show today. I loved your vlogs. I just watched your vlogs yesterday and I loved watching them. So I wanted to start out with the game of 2 truths and a lie. So you'll go ahead and tell me what the 3 things are, and I'm going to attempt to guess which one is the lie. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. 10 years younger than me. I am half deaf in one ear, and I've moved around since I was 5 years old.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is difficult. Okay. I am going to guess. I'm going to guess that the third one's the lie. No. Okay. Which one's the lie?
I'm not half deaf in one ear.
You're not half deaf. Mm-hmm. Dang it. Well, that was a good one. You tricked me for sure. Okay, so you are primarily an actor. So, the acting industry takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. So I wanted to ask you, how has the process been like for you, and especially the process of getting a talent agent?
It's been difficult. I decided that I was going to take the first step into, getting a talent agent and doing the lessons and stuff. I started in like 3rd grade, but then I had to stop between 6th grade and 7th grade. But I couldn't get lessons again for a while. So I started doing YouTube videos and I started going to these master classes, and they were like, well, if you can't get auditions yet, why don't you just start creating? So that's what I started doing. And I found it to be really cool, because then I figured out that there's these castings for extra work, background work, and I started submitting for those. We have a local theater teacher, and she did my first headshots that I submitted for my background work. So I got to go to Little, and in the movie Little, there was like Issa Rae, and then the young daughter in Blackish. Yeah, those were the 2 stars, and I got to like be near them, and that was awesome because like starstruck. But it was so cool to see the background work and how in front of the camera it's like an entire new world, but behind the camera you see everyone moving around, and you see all these big instruments and like the light boxes and like the little train tracks they have with the you know what I'm talking about, the camera?
Yeah.
I just find it so cool. It's such a mesmerizing experience.
That's awesome. I love that advice of, just start creating. If if you're waiting around, just take advantage of that time. I think that's fantastic. And I'm glad you had fun, doing that creative stuff. And I think background work is so fun. I know some people are like, oh, I don't like it. I like it. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, the snacks that you get in the background, I always get excited because when you go on set, they have all these trailers, and it's like, that alone makes me hyper, just to be around all these big trailers. And then to be able to go into like a makeup set and sit down while they put like sunscreen on you if you're going to be outside, or when you have to sign all these papers. It's like the little stuff. I
I
don't know.
do.
It's great.
It's so exciting. So you recently told me that you were in a PBS show called Super Science Showcase that'll be released later this year. I know you said maybe around August time. So that is super exciting. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the project in total, because I've never heard of it. So I'm really excited.
Okay, well, I play Rachel, and she's a member in the AV class who hosts a YouTube channel at the school. And the part I'm in, the show is called The Shock Losers Sellout. And basically, Super Science Showcase is a series of adventure stories featuring memorable characters that teaches to a middle schooler audience. So they produce like little short segments of like different characters. There's one where they travel through time. There's another universe where they're in space and they're teaching about like the science portion and astrology and such. So the part I'm in, it's basically where a bunch of kids get to go through life, and they're talking about they're going through life and they're talking about how difficult it is to balance everything. And then you also get to follow these characters and see how their character grow throughout the season. So it's cool.
That sounds really exciting. I am very, very excited to see that when it comes out. So I will be looking out for you posting about it when it comes out. That sounds like it'll be really, really fun. So here is my wild card question for you. It has nothing to do with anything. What is your favorite subject in school?
History and language arts, mainly because like in history, you kind of get to like go into someone's life and hear, this sounds bad saying it out loud, but you get to hear all the drama and like the details of like, oh my gosh, George Jefferson, not George Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, he moved like 6 times. He had like 2 wives. This isn't true. None of these facts are true, but it's just like being able to have all these tiny facts about people. I find it awesome. And then language arts, because I like writing a lot. So
Language arts was always my favorite. I always really loved language arts. So I'm with you on that one. I wish I was better at history. I'm very bad at history. I'm horrible. I'm like, dates, what? Like, I no idea. Alrighty, so moving on to our game called Memory Association. So the way Memory Association works is I have a random word generator pulled up here on my phone, and I'm going to randomly generate a word. And once I get to a good word, because sometimes they're not good. Once I get to a good word, I'm going to say it out loud, and we're both going to share the first memory that comes to our head that, you know, what reminds us when we hear that word. What's the first thing that comes to our head? What's the first memory we think of when we hear that? So, all right, you ready? Okay, here we go. Our word is, okay, heal. Like if you're healing, like if you've gotten hurt, heal. If you have one, you can go first.
I'm surprised this is the first thing that came to mind. In track for freshman and sophomore year, I did track at my school. And I remember the first team meet we had, I was like in the 4th fast. They were faster than me by like a lot, probably minutes. And it was the mile run. So they did like the mile within like 6 minutes, and I do it in like 7:30, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And I just got really pepped. My friends pepped me up before the meet starts. So I get into the starting line and I'm really feeling myself, I'm ready. And then he shoots the gun and I sprint, which was a horrible mistake. And I make the first lap and I'm in front of everyone else. And I'm like yards in front of like this cluster of girls. And I'm like, man, I'm doing great. And then when it comes to the second lap, I burn out. And I don't know how it happened, but I ended up tripping on my foot and I fell, and the girls ended up They ended up trampling me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they ended up trampling me, and I'm just on the floor, and I'm like dead, but I have like 3 more laps to do. So like I start crawling back up, and I'm like running again. But no, it took me like 2 weeks to heal, and I still have like scars on my arm from it. But yeah.
I can't believe they trampled you. What the heck? They were.
Yeah, like the coach came up and he was like, "Get up, Melanie, get up." And then the other coaches, they were like, "Don't pick her up. Don't help her. Keep going."
Oh my gosh. That's ruthless. Holy
Yeah.
moly. Yeah, wow. That's wild. The first one I thought of was when I was like 3. I broke my elbow for the second time, the same elbow, second time. And it was in a doctor's office. I fell off of a chair. That's how I broke it. I fell off of a chair. And my mom remembers I turned to her and I said, "I want my cast." And that was my way of saying, I know it's broken again. I want my cast, which had from the first time, I broke it first time when I was 2. So I had gotten it off like months before, like not even that long ago. And then I fall off of a chair. And because we were there for my brother, and so when we went in to see the doctor, my mom was like, "Yeah, by the way, this happened," but I had fallen asleep with a broken elbow. I had fallen asleep. And so the doctor was like, moving it, seeing I didn't wake up. I was like, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I mean, she doesn't seem to be in pain. So like, I think she just heard it, like whatever." Sure enough, we get home and it's starting to swell. And my mom was like, "Yeah, something's wrong. Like, I think it's broken." And sure enough, it was. So I was in another cast to heal from that, the exact same elbow, and just a few months apart. So
How does that even work? Is it like dangling?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
It's strange. I mean, I do know this elbow now, like it goes out to the side where it shouldn't.
it's like double jointed now?
Hyperextended. So I'm like, well, there's that. So I did like a few cheerleading, like fun cheerleading camp afterwards. So when they would do like high V's, my elbows would look so weird because they would hyperextend, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't look right." So that's they've never gone, this one has never gone back to, being straight. So all right. So next question. So you mentioned to me that you've been able to go on some pretty big auditions since the pandemic began. So I wanted to ask, how is the casting process different than how it was like before the pandemic hit?
Oh. See, I just did an audition actually. I got an audition yesterday morning, and it's Thursday, right? Today's Thursday. Or is it Friday? It's Friday. It's Friday. So on Wednesday, I got an audition, and they gave me a six pages worth of instructions for me to do my self-tape. And they're like, "You need to read every single word, and you can't have anything wrong. If you have it wrong and you don't send it in on time, like a day before the due date," which is, another thing, then they might not even submit me at all if you don't get submitted because you didn't do. Very stressful. But they gave me the 6-page instructions, and 4 of the pages were the actual script. And I'm reading through the script, and then I find out that I have to audition for every single character.
Wow.
And yeah. So not only am I having to do it within the, one day. So I get it that morning. I have to learn it, and then within that day, film it the next day, and turn it in the same day, because it says that Friday is the due date. But whenever you're doing a self-tape, you always want to turn it in a day before the actual due date, in case they say, "No, do this again. I didn't like this," or "Can you change it?" So yeah. And since I live in a very small household, I guess, with like a bunch of family members, I had to convince my mom to leave. And like half of the people were still there, and like the TVs were on and the dogs were barking. So like when it comes to filming at home due to quarantine, it's really about the environment and all the variables that come into tact, especially when you have like a short time span to actually do the scene. And then I don't have the right background, so I was using bedding for it. And then since my room's small, I had to move the furniture around so that I could have like the lighting set. And honestly, it's so much fun. I've never been to like an in-person audition though. So this is all I know. I've been doing this for like a year now, but yeah.
That's exciting
I
though.
guess this is my normal.
Just gotta, yeah. I mean, in that, I think if you can get used to that, if you can do that, move the furniture every time, get it done at, like, I think if you go to an in-person, like, you'll be like, oh, this, I got this. This is fine. Don't have to worry about moving the furniture this time. I just got to get there. Okay, cool. But that's some serious dedication. And that's so exciting that you've been able to get these auditions for larger things. So I'm crossing my fingers for you. Crossing fingers. That's great. So kind of going off of that, what advice can you give to those that are watching? This can be career advice, life advice, whatever bit of advice you would like to give those watching.
Even when you're stressed, do it anyway. So many times when I'm like working or I'm trying to do a self-tape, I'll look at the footage and I'll be like, no, that's horrible. I shouldn't send that in. So then I'll do it again and again and again. I feel like even when you think that the background's bad or the lighting's bad, you should try to fix it. You shouldn't just give up. I know a lot of people who will just drop everything and be like, there'll always be next time. Don't wait for next time. Do it now, because you want to take every single opportunity you can. The more opportunities you get and the more you take in stride, the more, successful you're going to be.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. And, take every single one. As you said, I mean, that dedication, if you love what you do, like you do, you're going to do what it takes to get that audition in. You're going to do what it takes to get it right, no matter how many times it takes and how many times you go, oh my gosh, why can this not just go right? So I think that's amazing advice. And yeah, so speaking once again, kind of piggybacking off of that, when things get tough, when things get frustrating, what pushes you to keep going and follow your dreams?
What if I get through? What if the casting director likes what I do? What if I get an idea if I do the self-tape one more time? What if I change the character, just thinking about what would happen if I didn't do it. Nothing would happen if I didn't do it. I'd stay in the same place I was.
That is very smart. I love that. I like that a lot, because you're so right. If you don't do anything, then you're not going to go anywhere. But if you take the risk,
you're not going to move any place. You're going to stay.
Exactly. So if you take, do the audition, take the leap, you never know. So I think that's very smart. Thinking, comparing, okay, if I don't do it, what does that look like? If I do it, what could that look like? I think that's really smart. All right. So final question. Where can people follow you and keep up with all that you do?
Instagram at Melanie J Weeks.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. I will put that in the description box below so everyone can follow you there. And that's all that I have. So thank you so much for being on the show. I had such a fun time talking to you. And yeah, I will be crossing my fingers for all those auditions to come your way, and hope that great things come out of it. And I hope Adam's family went well, because that was all the vlogs. So that was very entertaining. I loved watching that.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we actually have a show tonight. So
fun. Well, good luck.
Yeah, it's the same thing over again. I'm so excited.
Well, I hope it'll go great, and I'm gonna press end on the recording. So we are going to head out of Zoom.
Thank you all so much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we post every Tuesday and Thursday. You can also follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. All of Melanie and I's social media is in the description box below, and there's also a link and a little blurb to tell you how you, if you're a creative, can submit to be on the show. I am extremely excited for next week's guest. She is a very talented actor. She can sing, she can dance, and she's just really, really fun to be around. So next week's guest is Ava Grace Roberts, and I know you will not want to miss her vlogs and her interview. Thank you all so much again for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday.